There's that cutback move. Look out!
We've seen it from quarterbacks. How about Tom Brady's 2-decade destruction of the Buffalo Bills?
Touchdown, Patriots!
Are you kidding me?
And a wideout has never performed to the level of Jerry Rice against the Falcons.
Touchdown, Jerry Rice, number 5!
But when it comes to running backs, Barry Sanders' efforts against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are unmatched. The numbers are stunning. In 20 games, he gained more than 2,600 total yards, averaged 5.7 yards per touch, and 7 touchdowns of 50 or more yards.
Pitch out to Barry, left side, hole, 35-40, Barry on the run to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, look out, 30, they'll never catch him, see you later! They are going to run a fake reverse, Barry keeps it, look out, far side, 50, he's gone! They'll never catch him, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Lions! Oh, man!
And there goes Barry Sanders! He could go! He's heading for the end zone! Touchdown, Barry Sanders!
Mitchell in trouble again, gets out of it, and he gets it away to Barry Sanders in the open field, and look at Sanders make moves. Now he has some blocking on the far side. Sanders may go. Touchdown, Detroit. Unbelievable.
Bear in mind, this is against a defense that featured a young Derrick Brooks, Warren Sapp, and John Lynch. That's 2 Hall of Famers and maybe one on his way.
This is the only back in America that can do this.
Cut back over the middle, got free to the 25, 30s, off to the races, 40, midfield, 40, it's a foot race to the 30, he slowed up but keeps going to the 10, 5, and touchdown! 80 yards! And Barry gets the call, sweeps to the right, breaks a tackle to the 25, 30, 35, Barry up the right sideline, 40, 50, cuts inside middle of the field, 40, Barry up to the races, 30, 20, 15, 10, they'll never get it, touchdown Lions!
For a decade, Sanders did his best to haunt every last creamsicle-wearing defender he faced, en route to the most prolific stretch by a running back against a single team in NFL history. Were the games instant classics? No, but let's face it, the 90s weren't always kind to either of these teams. But Sanders' breathtaking runs elevated this NFC Central rivalry to new heights.
Cuts back in, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Sanders near midfield. He's got more to block him. In the hands of Barry Sanders, inside the 30.
Just like that, Barry Sanders, who has been a thorn in the side of the Buccaneers over the years, proves it again.
Remember, these runs were against a division opponent, a team that game planned for Sanders twice a year, every year. Making all these plays even more impressive, Barry was the offense for most of the 90s Lions. From 1989 to 1998, he tallied 24 runs of 20 or more yards and 12 runs of 40 or more yards, all against the Bucs.
Barry again, flips a tackle, has 10, 15, divide.
When you talk about the other great backs, and certainly there are other great backs in this league,
And Emmett,
and absolutely. But Barry Sanders has never had the passing game to complement his running. He has never had the great offensive line. This guy is something else.
No, he is the Detroit Lions.
To put this dominance in perspective, compare what Sanders did against Tampa to the numbers of these running backs against a single opponent. It's really not that close. Barry averaged 11 more yards per game than Walter Payton did against the Packers. And a quick shout out to 2 guys who didn't qualify for this list, Jim Brown and LADAINIAN Tomlinson. Brown destroyed the Steelers over the course of his career, nearly 2,400 yards in 18 games.
Jim Brown is going to go for a touchdown.
And Tomlinson was a scoring machine each time he played the Raiders. 26 touchdowns in 19 games.
Touchdown, LADAINIAN Tomlinson, and the ball game is over.
But it's hard to top 2,600 total yards at almost 6 yards a carry in 20 games. While Barry called it a day, those young Bucs grew up, embarking on a dominant stretch of their own a few years later.
Dropping Gannon, looking Gannon. Those up the middle. It's intercepted at the 40. Derrick Brooks 30. Brooks to the 25. Derrick Brooks all the way. There it is. The dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
But there was a time when that franchise, even when it was successful, had no answer for number 20 in Honolulu Blue. It's a 20-game stretch we may never see again from an NFL running back.